guys, thanks for joining Elseway TN. Please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. Hope you guys are doing good and ready for Easter. Today, I am making Easter baskets with dish drying mats. I saw this online somewhere. I can't remember where I saw it at. But I thought, oh, that's so cute. Super easy. I'm going to make them for Easter baskets, but it's baskets they can use all year long to store stuff in. You can put the strap inside and just use it like this, or you can keep the strap out. I'm going to do some straps on the sides instead in the middle, but I'm going to put my kids' Easter, I still do Easter baskets for my grown kids and my grandkids, so I'm going to put their Easter stuff in these, but they can use it all year long. The way gift bags cost these days, you could make one of these really quick and put gifts in it for baby showers, wedding showers, birthdays, whatever. I did get these they're really hard to find, so I guess everybody's making them, but I got these at TJ Maxx, and I got 2 of them for like $8, so it was a really good deal. Then I found these. I couldn't find any at the dollar store, so if you find them throughout the year, grab some, because like I said, they make great gift baskets all year long. I found these on Amazon. Thought these were really super cute prints. And then I found this pack. So I just kind of been finding them where I can. I still have another one of these. So I'm going to make little baskets with them. And then I just use scrap pieces for the straps. And it's super easy. But I just wanted to kind of show you guys really quick how to make these. And I hope you enjoy. Okay, so this is my mat. I steamed it a little bit just to get out the creases. And I'm going to fold it in half. And you can see I did a 3x3 square. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Just going to do a 3x3. Mark it out. And I'm going to cut past this so it's okay. And I'm just going to cut these off. By the time you get it sewed, they're not going to show anyways. Maybe. These are kind of hard to cut. I'm going to go buy utility scissors. You can cut it with a blade too if you have a blade, but it's really thick, so I'm just going to use their utility scissors, and I'm just going to cut that out. And then you can just throw this away, or you can save it for something later. Same thing over here. Just going to cut that out. Yep. Alright, so I've got this cut. So I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew. I'm going to leave about an inch here to 1.5 inches. I'm just going to sew here and sew here first. Okay, so we're going to start, like I said, just about 1 inch to 1.5 inches from the top, because these corners are kind of rounded, so when you flip it, they're going to spread anyways, and if you have that sewed, it'd be hard to flip it. So we're just going to sew right along, always back stitch, and we're just going to sew right along there. Okay. We're going to turn it over. I always say always back stitch. If you're starting something, you're not gonna go back over that area. You want to back stitch. But if you're going back over it, like if you're flipping it or sewing something else on it, you don't have to back stitch. This is kind of uneven. Get it back. Okay, so then we're gonna sew same thing here. Then we are going to flip it like, I'm not showing you. So I've got the side sewed here, and then we're just going to flip it and pull these where we cut off. We're going to pull those together just like that, and we're going to sew along here. So want to make sure you have a good sturdy needle, and if you're doing this on a regular machine, and I'm going to split this seam right here. This Juki sews through anything. So, and I'm just going to sew that up. A little back stitch. You haven't kind of got it through because it is thick. so that side's sewed. Kind of see where he sewed it. Same thing on the other side. We're just gonna pull it together. Spread that back out. And there we go. So I'm gonna take it over the table. You can kind of see a little better. I'll show you what we do next. Okay, so we've got it sewed. You can see we sewed here and here. You already got, this is it. So we're just gonna turn it inside out. And we got it turned inside out. And then they kind of fold over a little bit on their own. But whatever size you want for the top, it's up to you. And I want to cut this tag off, but that's no big deal. So we got our little basket. And then what I'm going to do is, I think this one I'm going to do handles here. But you're going to go back and sew across here. And then you're gonna sew across here, and that'll just make it flatten out a little bit better. See, I did it here, I sewed here, and then I sewed here, and see, it just sits flatter than this one currently. That just helps balance it. And then for the straps, I just cut 1.5 inches. Actually cut 3 inches, and I doubled it so it was kind of stronger. And then I literally just sewed along the edges and before I put it on, and then when I put it on, I just attached it on the outside. And you can do a crisscross or however you want to do that part. So I haven't even turned it up yet, but that's it with the straps. And you got a little basket. But I'm gonna sew, you don't have to sew around the edges. It's totally up to you. I probably will, just because my machine can handle it, but you don't have to, because once you put the handles on, it's going to hold that down anyways. But I did just to kind of secure it. So I'm going to go back to my machine. I'm going to sew this across here, and then I'll probably sew around the edges. Okay, so I have sewn here. Just stuck it under and sewed right there. Thought it was recording, it wasn't, so sorry about that. But just sew here. And then you can see it already sits flatter. And then you do not have to do this step, but I'm going to go around and sew this down. Because you can throw these in the washer and stuff, so I think if they're put in the washer, depending on what you use them for, it would just be easier when you're washing them, stuff that'll hold up better. But I'm going to do about 1 inch and then just sew around. If you, like I said, if you have a normal machine, it might be harder to do this part just because it is thick, but this Juki just sews through everything. And you want to make sure you don't catch the bottom side underneath. That would be tragic. I'm just going to continue going across. You got to push it through a little bit on that side. And I'll just continue around. Alright, so I found some really cute chicken material that matches really well. So I'm going to make my straps from this. So cute. And you can put a liner inside them if you want. You could add some trim around the outside. It's totally up to you. Okay, so you can turn it inside out, your little straps. You can do like that and sew along this line right here. And you got the tube, so you just turn it inside out. And then you would just sew along each line here and here to kind of finish it up before you attach it to your basket. I don't know why, but tubes frustrate me. So with mine, I've already got this one ironed. I steam a lot and it helps with lines and things like that. But so I just creased it down the middle, then creased it again, and then just folded this in and sewed, and I just looped it like that. So when I go back and I stitch along here and I stitch along here, it'll be finished. But that's how I'm going to do my straps. Okay, so I've got my straps made. And then I'm just going to attach them to the basket. And like I said, if you want to do them here, you can do it here. You just want to fold this in and sew a square and then sew an X if you'd like. I'm going to do mine on the ends, so I'm going to do the same thing, but just do it on the ends, here and here. Okay, say on this one, I decided to do a crease here, so I just bent it like this and sewed here, and then bent it and sewed here. Same thing, I bent it and sewed here, bent it and sewed here on the outside, and so I got a little square basket. And then I'm going to add straps right here. Okay, so this one's done. And like I said, I sewed here, 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 and around to get my little box. And then here's my little handles. They're cute. I'm going to go ahead and make some more. I think I'm going to alternate with this handle. And this I'll show you when I get done all the different ones I made. All right, I'm all done with my baskets. I think I'm gonna make some more and have them on hand for gift baskets, but these are Easter, so I made this little one with a longer strap. Made this strap longer, so if you want to tuck it in the basket, you can still fill the basket and not have a strap there. Same thing on this one. And those are the round ones. And then this one, I'm gonna leave a strap off, so it can kind of just sit on a shelf and put stuff in. You can use it as a diaper caddy, like whatever. And then this is one of the square ones, and I did the straps on the side. And then this is the original one I made. And then this one, I did straps, little straps on the sides. Super easy. Literally, I made all of these, total time, probably, gosh, 2 hours if that, and that's cutting the straps and stuff. So super easy, quick, fun project. Use them for baby showers, packed with diapers and essentials for babies, clothes, whatever. I'm using these for Easter baskets, but they can use them all year long. Gift baskets, whatever, and they're almost as cheap than buying a gift bag, and they can use it, like I said, all year long. But I hope you enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe.